Okay.
Hey, everybody. My name is Philip Brown. I'm the broker of record here at KW Portfolio Realty. I am here with our very own Sophia. This is the first episode in a whole series we're going to do with our agents here at the office, highlighting some of the really cool things they do, how they got to real estate, why KW. Really, it's just kind of it's a chat, and we're just going to hang out and get to know each other a little bit better. So, Sophia, tell us a little bit about you.
Okay. Well, thanks for having me as your first guest.
Yeah, it's exciting. Fun. It's fun.
So I've been licensed for about 4 years now. I started as a deal administrator and kind of got into real estate by fluke. My parents have always been realtors growing up. Never thought it was the path for me. Went through 1,000 other jobs and then landed here.
Yeah. Second generation, which is kind of cool.
Third.
Why didn't you think you were going to get into it? What did you think you were going to do?
Oh, I don't even know. I feel like I had my hand in every different bucket, trying different things, and then real estate, just being around my parents who were working so much all the time. I was like, I don't think I want that. But it comes with its perks, I guess.
It does for sure. And yeah, you did that kind of funny. You landed here on the front desk. Part of that because you were already in the program, so it was how do I learn more about this?
Yeah.
So you learned the whole back of house before you got front of house, which is kind of fun.
Yeah.
So you went through all that stuff. Why did you decide to make KW your first landing point as an agent?
Being on the back end of it really helped see what this office specifically does for agents. Speaking with my parents as well, every time I would call them and actually talk about you, they're like, don't leave. You can't leave. He does so much for you guys. Just honestly, I didn't even interview anywhere else. I just felt right at home here and meeting all the agents, getting help as a new agent from the people who've been around forever. It was just so nice, and everyone was just so friendly and lots of training, and I just felt at home.
So cool kind of segue. You went from brand new agent who was kind of doing front desk, alerting back of house. You start focusing, and you end up being our rookie of the year your first year in real estate. So what was that like?
Hard.
Yeah.
Had to work really hard for that. It was great. It was pretty cool because, like you said, I was doing multiple jobs out at the same time and just was so driven right from the get-go. I just really, really wanted to do a lot of deals that first year and kind of just took off from there. So it was nice.
That's awesome. Now, a lot of people would have just left it at that. You had a good, I'm the rookie of the year. And then what happens in a lot of real estate businesses is people kind of slide way off.
Yeah.
You decided to actually push it harder.
Yeah.
So you had lots of other things going on in life. You had a wedding to plan. You had other things. But you ended up going from rookie of the year to building a business where you're now actually in our top 20% here at the office.
Yeah.
And so this year we got to welcome you to the Agent Leadership Council because that's where the top 20% get to go.
Yeah.
So what did you think, looking back over all of the things you've learned and seen other people do, what is it that you're doing that's getting you the results that you want?
Loaded question. It's funny because I feel like at times my lead generation and like trying to get new clients kind of falls onto the back burner, but at the same time, that's what's gotten me here. Just word of mouth and referrals and honestly working really hard. Like I'm not lazy by any means. And I enjoy working and I enjoy being busy. So when I am, I'm just like, okay, what's next? And then I set the bar here and then I'm like, okay, we can go higher.
Yeah.
So just honestly working hard. I'm just.
So if you're seeing referrals already, like as a new agent, that doesn't happen a lot.
Yeah.
So you're seeing those come in. It must mean you did something different in the way you were servicing clients, in the way you were looking after them, that they're now already grabbing other people and saying, you've got to talk to Sophia. So what do you do that's different than what the average agent does?
I mean, I don't know if it's different than the average agent, but I really care about my clients. I work with a lot of first time home buyers, so I do a lot of hand holding, and I love walking them through every single step, making sure everything's done right and ethical. My parents, like I said, have been in the industry for 30 years plus. I've heard a lot of horror stories.
Yeah.
So I'm very careful. And if I don't know the answer to something, I ask. I will never just lead them astray. And I'm honest with them. And I think they appreciate that.
So being that kind of that consultant rather than being a salesperson seems to be where you're doing this.
Which is funny because I have a sales background and that comes second.
So everybody talks about caring about their clients, right? Very few people would actually say, I don't care about them at all.
Mm-hmm.
But what do you do where you demonstrate that care?
I mean, it's different than just, like buying a closing gift or saying like congratulations. I do a lot of follow-up. One of my clients recently, they just bought their first home with their child and he was sick. And so during their last walkthrough they had a home inspector come and I just held their baby in the living room for them the whole time. And they were in awe of that. They're like, you're going to get sick. And I'm like, that's okay. Like, I want you guys to make sure you're seeing the house and
that's so cool.
Do your thing and I'll just stay with the baby.
Well, and you get really hands-on with people too. You and I've had chats where I'm talking to you and you're in the middle of staging or destaging or helping somebody kind of get things ready. Yes. And you're really sort of there. So tell me about some of those things.
Oh, it's probably too much sometimes. My last listing, I was there right from the get-go. We were there 3 weeks before, clearing everything out, helping them do repairs, lawn maintenance. I put in a new garden for them. I actually used to work for a landscape architect, so I'm familiar with the ground. Right. I staged that house, actually first stage ever by myself, which was pretty cool. I don't know. I see it also like when I'm doing a deal, it's a reflection of my business and who I am. And I want it to be good. I want the outcome to be good for everyone.
Right.
I want it to be a self-reflection of the work that I do. And yeah.
So you have a tagline in your business.
Yes.
That kind of connects with that. So tell everybody here, what is the Sophia brand?
Well, my name's Sofia Bragagnolo, and I guess own and run Bragworthy Homes. I believe that either whether you're buying or selling, your home should be something to brag about.
That's very cool. That's awesome. So let's shift out of the service side of things for a second. You got into the industry at a point where COVID had a really huge impact. Everything was done remotely.
Yeah.
We're now sort of moving, I think, pretty quickly back to what the rest of us that had been licensed for a long time had seen in real estate. We're doing a lot more in person. We're doing a lot of things that aren't necessarily all remote. As you're watching that shift happen in the market, what are you seeing coming up in terms of how agents are going to need to be with their clients? How are you going to help connect people and connect the whole process into a space where it's not all looking at a picture, sending DocuSign. Mm-hmm. It's really much more kind of hands-on and doing stuff together.
I mean, honestly, I love that aspect. I'm a big people person. I hate Zoom. Love DocuSign. That's like godsend. But I actually enjoy meeting people face to face and talking to them. You can connect so much better. Better outfits. You get to actually get dressed in the day, not just wearing sweats behind the camera. I mean, I think our jobs are hands-on, and I think it's important to be face-to-face. It's really hard to connect over a phone call or text. I think it's only going to improve my business, being able to see people and, be around people face to face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As we go through a shifting market in terms of sort of the outside economic forces that we're seeing impacting, often there's lots of anxiety in there. There's lots of sort of what happens if, and are you hearing any of that inside your client base? And if you are, how are you bringing them back to earth and keeping them focused?
I mean, I've been, like you said, like I got licensed right in the peak of COVID. So I have already seen it kind of like do its whole thing. And it's always a learning curve for me as well. And kind of, just making sure I'm talking to the right people, and I'm not telling people definitive answers. I really try to understand what pushes them to want to buy or sell, and making sure that whatever they're doing aligns with what they need to be doing. There's a lot of people browsing for houses, but the ones who are really serious are the ones who have the funds to do so, and then also they're doing it because it aligns with what they need to be doing. And that's why I really try to understand what motivates them.
So you're going really deep on what their bigger plan is.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. What if you were to kind of share with the people that are watching one thing that you believed about building a real estate business that you've found wasn't actually what builds it?
Being famous.
Yeah.
You have to be like very, very well known to be successful. Famous in the
right
as a realtor, but
so you can't be busy if you're not one of the incumbents.
Exactly. Yeah. And again, like to go back to like working hard, like that really does pay off, and doing your job properly. But yeah, like at the beginning, I'm like, this can be so easy, but I'm not a celebrity name, but no one's going to know me, but like, it's not going to be that hard. And then it ended up being one of the hardest jobs I've had, but the best job that I've had.
Yeah.
So,
things that people don't know about you. So you chatted a little bit about having done some landscaping.
Yeah.
But outside of being an agent, I mean, we're people, right?
Yeah.
So what are some fun things about Sophia that you think people should know and they probably don't know?
I love to sing. My voice is incredibly raspy, as you can tell, but I can hit some pretty good notes.
Awesome.
And I actually used to own a catering company, and I used to do event planning. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
So you're already kind of programmed in the how to take people from super emotional to let's get back to the plan.
Yeah. I get the emotions. I take them on myself and my husband. So.
Oh, that's awesome. So you were kind of predestined to be in real estate.
Yeah.
It's in your genes. It's in all of the training stuff you did in other industries.
Yeah.
You just didn't see it as where you wanted to go. So now that you're there, what do you want your business to be? What do you want to grow it to? What's kind of the big 5-year vision?
I'd love to start a team.
Mm-hmm.
It's a on and off again thought that I have, just because I am so protective and I don't think anyone can do it the way I do. Run my own business, that is.
Yeah.
But so I'd love to have a team and just kind of disperse some of the work so that I can be more client focused. Paperwork and all that can fall into somebody else.
So getting some leverage to focus on the things that you really like doing.
And then growing it from there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. One last thing before we head out. What do you want people to know?
I have a really great listing out right now. You should go check it out.
Yes, and watch for Sophia in the world of social media and other places. This was awesome. Thanks so much for hanging out. Cool. Okay. Bye, guys.